going on, Vinyl community? And what's going on, Colin? This video is a response to Colin Medicine Horse's 200 subscribers contest. Now in this contest, Colin said, show whatever you want. So what could be easier? So long as you read a passage from something, a book, a cereal box, a package of toilet paper. Tell me how good Charmin is, and really, should you squeeze it at the end of the video. And I'll certainly accommodate that request. But before I get going, I wanted to stop for a minute and just talk about Colin. Why not? It seems appropriate. It's his contest. So Colin, and the reason I really wanted to stop and do this, is because of the way that the two of us connected. It wasn't the usual, somebody joins the VC, you find them, they make an introductory video, and you connect. Colin was a bit different. Colin had a channel up for a long time, but wasn't necessarily active in the vinyl community as such. Now, Colin and I had a similar interest in another channel. A gentleman by the name of Ed Stevens, who does a DJ show from his basement. It's fantastic. So he had disappeared for a while. Colin found my comments on his videos and contacted me. Do you know where he is? That was about a year ago. I checked out his channel. Lo and behold, there's Colin. And it was just love at first sight. Vintage equipment, turntables, record players, off the wall kind of stuff, or just unique collectibles. And the things that he brings to the table really just keep an interest. The link is below. Check him out. Give him a watch. It's a fantastic channel. So Colin, cheers to you, my brother, and thank you for becoming part of the vinyl community at large. Just one of the greatest, most sincere guys I've ever not met. So, what do I want to share? For some reason I seem to equate Colin to horror movies. I don't know, man. Maybe it's the masks, maybe it's the stuff that you show. For his last subscribers contest, I did a similar video. I showed a handful of my horror VHS collection. So I have a pretty big VHS collection. I'm proud of it. I love it. It's how I grew up watching movies. And for me, it's the only way to watch horror. It's just VHS. So here are some of my favorite horror movies, but let's delve into one series more particularly. And maybe for Colin's future contests, 300, 400, 500 subs, we'll go into other series. So, some of my favorites. Phantasm. And yes, this is a beta tape. And yes, I do have a beta machine. This, by all means, hands down, one of my favorite horror movies ever. Things like Halloween. I'm a massive, massive horror fan. Nightmare on Elm Street, of course. And I have been since I was a little kid. Here's The Evil Dead. Here's Exorcist. And this is a special widescreen edition. I remember when this was re-released, I got right down to the theater. The version you've never seen it. Oh, I got there early. And even when Showtime came around, I was the first one in line. I'm a geek. Puppet Master. So, ever since I was a little kid, 1983, 1984, Friday the 13th, they'd be showing whatever was out, parts 1 and 2 and 3 at the time, maybe. You'd come downstairs, peek around the corner, channel 38, the movie loft. You'd peek and you'd see it, right? Oh, no, I'm 6 years old. I shouldn't be watching this, 7 years old. But from there forward, that was it. And so, a passion for the genre was born, and I absolutely love it. Needless to say, Friday the 13th became a favorite series of mine. And I just thought it would be cool to share the VHS tapes that I have. So here's the first, Friday the 13th. Excellent film. Here's Friday the 13th Part 2. This is hands down one of my top 3 favorites of the whole series. Friday the 13th Part 3. Originally released in 3D. Jason gets a mask. Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Yeah, I seriously doubt it. As long as there's another $6 to be made at the cinema, they were never gonna end it. Of course, just skip a year and here comes A New Beginning. Again, Jason not the killer in this one, an imposter Jason. A lot of people don't like this one. I love it. Here is what is cited by many as their absolute favorite, and this is Jason Lives. CJ Graham plays Jason in this, right? Oh, I'm sorry. So at this point, you still have a revolving door of Jasons. Then with Part 7, The New Blood, enter Kane Hodder. And Kane Hodder playing Jason, Kane would break the mold and become the first person to play Jason multiple times. Here's Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. I saw this when it was released at cinemas as well. If memory serves, I had to buy a ticket to something else. Maybe it was Short Circuit 2. And then leave that theater and then go into, catch this. Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. Why was this so awesome? Because New Line finally had the rights to Friday the 13th, and that meant, inevitably, Freddy vs. Jason.
Freddy vs. Jason.
Jason X, Jason Goes to Space. Saw this one at the theaters with some of my buddies. Not bad, not great. Ultimately, Freddy vs. Jason. This was Place Your Bets. Script, and re-script for years and years and years and years and years. Who's your favorite? I've always loved Freddy Krueger just a little bit more, so I truly wanted to see him win. This was just a horror fan's dream come true. That is my Friday the 13th and related VHS collection. I do have the DVD box. I told you I have a DVD player. So they put 2 movies on 1 disc, and these look fine. There's no problems with that. There's no resolution issues with DVD. Here's part 3 and part 4. That was part 1 and 2. I've beaten these, and the funny thing is I never get tired of them. I never get tired of them. Here's part 7 and part 8. Maybe I'm tired of part 8. And this is the Killer Extras disc. So everything you wanted to know but were afraid to ask. I was never afraid to ask nothing. I was just wondering what took them so long to do it. Now, on to reading. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more.
Distinctly I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my book surcease of sorrow. Sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels call Lenore, nameless here forevermore.